This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
And I'm Tim.
Tim, how are you doing this week?
Tom, I'm very, very tired.
Yeah? Have you been getting enough sleep?
No.
Let me ask you this, actually.
Okay,
This is
yeah.
a good topic of discussion.
Great.
I
I'm
was
glad
thinking about this.
we've settled on a topic of discussion.
No, because I thought for a while this might just be dead air for an hour, but I have something to talk about or to ask. What is...
I love being asked questions.
Well, hopefully you don't knock my lights out for asking such a personal question. What is your situation with your wife when you wake up in the morning? Alarm clocks.
Tom, I'm glad you asked.
Okay.
None of your
I was
business.
afraid you weren't going to let me finish. And when I said, what's the situation with your wife in the morning, you would punch my lights out.
Well, anytime, what's the situation with your wife?
Even that would be enough.
That would be like, what, are you trying to move in on her, Tom? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
How you guys getting along lately?
How are you getting along? Is there any chance for a wedge between you two?
That would be a clumsy thing for you to ask.
Right.
If that were the case, I probably wouldn't come right out and say it.
Yeah,
Like,
you'd be smart not to.
you know
Because
what?
it'd be obvious what my intentions were.
Right.
But what is your situation with alarm clocks in the morning?
Alarm clocks in the morning, you say. I set my alarm for 10 minutes before her alarm clock goes off.
Just so you can get a head start on the day.
No, because I always have
You
these.
jump out of bed every day going, I'm 10 minutes ahead of you, sucker, all day.
Yeah, good luck catching up. Eat my dust.
Yeah.
It's because
You,
we don't like each other.
quickly
Yeah.
shovel oatmeal into your mouth, take a 30-second shower, run out the door.
No, she's very patient because you know me.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine what I'm doing when I'm setting my alarm the night before? Like at night, I'm going to bed.
Uh-huh.
Can you imagine what's going through my head? It's this.
I don't want to go to bed.
No, it's all right. It's kind of like I don't want to go to bed, and it's like, well, okay, I'll set my alarm for really early so I can get up and get a jump on things.
Yeah, that never happens, I'm sure.
Never. Actually, this week it's been happening, Tom. I'm back on it. I'm running in the morning.
Yeah.
6 a.m. going out for a run.
6 a.m. runs.
Yeah.
It's still dark out.
I go to the gym. I run
Oh,
on a
okay.
treadmill. It's also very cold out, Tom.
Yeah.
Not gonna. It's cold out there.
Yeah, but when you run, you get warm.
I don't get warm. My whole face starts to hurt.
Oh. Well, it's been killing me.
Yeah.
You walked right, Tim. That was the only reason I asked all this.
Wow.
It was
Expertly
a
done.
long walk.
So mostly, I don't know. We're both like generally up at the same time.
Yeah.
It's not an issue. We're both hitting snooze on some days. Well, why do you ask? Why do you need to know my routine with my wife?
No, not specifically you and your wife. I was just thinking, like, I have an alarm clock. I have one of those light up alarm clocks.
Oh, I had one of those too.
I love this thing. All
Yeah,
this
me
thing does,
too.
it lights up and then it goes, it makes bird noises.
I know this bird noise
Yeah.
alarm clock, Tom. I had it. I had to sell it on Craigslist because
you
freaking
have to sail it?
I had to sell it.
Okay.
Why would you think I would say sale?
I think that is what you said.
Yeah, but
If
using
only this
context,
conversation was being recorded.
even so, using context clues. Yeah,
I know what
mix
you
up
meant.
words sometimes. Sometimes I talk like a Southern belle and I say that I sell things. But Tom, you knew I was selling it.
Yes.
You bought
Why'd
it
you-
from me.
I didn't buy it from you. I wouldn't want to own something that's been in your bedroom. What if it started talking? What if it started telling me what it's seen?
I don't know what this alarm clock does beyond.
Oh, the one I have, it has a spy cam.
Oh,
in it.
cool.
Oh, that's not what yours does?
Mm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's why I wasn't interested in buying it. Why'd you sell it?
Because I didn't want to. It's not conducive to waking up if in a bed with somebody else.
Exactly. That's what got me thinking about this, because I was thinking about it today where I was like, oh, I've like this alarm clock, like it shouldn't wake me up. Like, it's just little bird tweets. Like, it's not that loud, but like it wakes me up no problem every day.
It's because that light. It's the combination. The light comes
Yeah.
up. You set it right, like
Yeah.
for like 10 minutes before or 15 minutes before you want to wake up.
No,
It
I don't
starts
think you
gradually
even,
coming
you
up.
set it for the time you want to wake up.
Yeah.
And it starts like 20 minutes before.
Yeah, and it gradually just gets lighter.
Yeah.
And then by the time they play those bird noises, you're ready. Your brain is
Yep.
like, up.
Yeah, I'm already half awake.
Your caveman brain is like, oh yeah, I know the sun's rising. I can see it through my eyelids.
Yeah, it's
guess
time to
what,
hunt
asshole? It's not the
dinosaurs.
sun. It's a Philips light bulb.
Yeah, that is every time I wake up from it, I'm like, tricked again. Thought this was the sun, but it's not. It's a piece of electronics.
Yeah.
No, but it made me think about that I have that. It wakes me up no problem, but I live alone, so it's like, yeah, there's no problem. But then I did think about like, oh yeah, times guests have slept over. They've complained about that.
Oh really?
Yeah. And like I'm just used to it. Like it wakes me up
Yeah.
like very
There are birds in here because they don't know.
right.
They think there's birds in your
Well, and a
home.
lot of times the way that I get women to sleep over is that I tell them I have birds.
Oh, that's
And then they're impressed and they're like, well, and I'm like, yeah, but they only come out in the morning. So you have to stay over until the morning to see him. And they're like, all right, but you know, we can't sleep in the same bed. I'm like, no, it's fine. I'll sleep on the couch. And then I'm, you know, by the end of it, I'm like, why'd I even do this?
Oh, because you are on the couch. Okay.
I am on the couch.
At first, what this was sounding a little suspect.
No, that's the whole thing. Like I get ahead of myself and I'm like, I tricked another one to sleep over. And then I wake up in the morning on the couch.
This is not a good.
No, but that's the thing. I've tricked them into sleeping in my bed, but I'm not in my bed. I'm
Right,
sleeping
I
on
understand.
the couch.
I understand but your intentions were not pure. Is what I'm saying.
I don't even know what my intentions were because, like I said, you know, the whole time I'm like, well, I'll sleep on the couch, and I think like they'll be real impressed by these birds. I think I forget that the birds aren't even real.
Yeah,
'Cause
and then
then-
you're scrambling at 4 a.m. Like I gotta get some birds by
Yeah.
the time she wakes
Oh
up.
yeah, I'm going around the city
Toast.
to all the different pet shops, and they're not open. I'm banging on the doors. I'm like, I gotta get birds by the time this bird wakes up.
Well, that's strike two, Tom.
Yeah, but you know, then eventually the alarm goes off. She wakes up, and you know, and she's always like, "Oh, the birds I've been hearing so much about." I'm like, "Oh, right, yeah, the birds you've been hearing so much about. Oh, they just flew out the window.
Oh man,
Because all the lights came on. Yeah, they hate lights."
is this why you've been spending so much time at the Audubon Society
Yeah.
to pick up ladies?
Yeah, that's where the older women like to hang out.
Oh, so these are older women.
Yeah, and they're always like, "Well, I'll bring my, binoculars so I can see them." I'm like, "Yeah, you should bring the binoculars."
Hmm.
I mean, where else are you gonna find women that are so interested in seeing birds that they'll spend the night?
All right, Tom. Another thing that I can't do is I know you wanted to end this conversation there.
Right, a lot more.
You
to
probably
talk
should
about.
have ended it 5 minutes ago, if we're being honest. But that app on your phone where you put the phone on your bed and it knows when
Yeah.
you by like your body movements.
your REM sleep.
Yeah, and then like you set a time like I want to wake up between 6:30 and 7
Mhm.
and it finds the time.
It finds a time where you're like a little bit moving around.
Yeah,
right?
the most awake, like
yeah,
in
and
the
it's
least
like,
deep
oh,
sleep.
yeah.
And then it
Instead of when you're in deep sleep and somebody wakes you up and you're like, "Oh, what? Where am I?"
yeah.
Because you're coming out of a dream usually. I've been having a lot of dreams lately too.
Well,
I'll tell you about 'em
yeah,
afterwards.
Yeah, this is great. Please just so that also woke me up very nicely and gently.
Yeah.
But you can't do that if somebody else is tossing and turning in there.
Yeah.
This phone application doesn't know who's who.
Right.
So, life's rough. Married life's you're asking how
Well,
things are with my wife and
Well, I know you've been petitioning your wife that you get two separate twin beds side by
yeah,
side.
like hey, it worked for Lucy and Ricky.
Exactly. And they didn't even have apps yet. And it
No.
worked for them.
Yeah. Oh man, Lucille Ball And Desi Arnaz never survived to see an
Apps.
iPhone, huh?
No, I guess not.
It's a shame.
It is a shame. Who knows what kind of trouble Lucy could have gotten herself into with an app.
Oh my God! Ordered so
Oh.
many. She'd like order too much candy
Yeah. Oh, Ricky.
on the app, and it
yeah.
would keep coming. And she'd be like, "Oh no, I gotta eat all this candy."
Boy, imagine
Oh,
her and Candy
her and
Crush.
Candy Crush. Oh,
Oh, eating all the coming down the conveyor
right.
belt.
get CBS All Access on the phone, Tom. We're
Yeah.
rebooting I Love Lucy
Fire up the
for the
CGI
21st
computers.
century.
The computer-generated imagery computers.
Yeah.
Because we're going to need them working overtime to
Yeah.
put Lucy.
Lucy and Ethel need to play Candy Crush, baby.
All right, Tim. Well, enough of me. I'm the one who wound up revealing too much about my personal life
Yeah.
in that segment.
That's what happens when you talk to me.
Yeah, and
I
this,
turn it around on you like the Riddler.
that's not really what like the Riddler's known for.
The Riddler, you think you're asking him a riddle, and he tricks you into answering a riddle of your own.
No, that's not the way you work. I don't think anybody's. I mean, like sometimes Batman will ask the Riddler a riddle after the Riddler's asked him a riddle, and it will be like kind of what
A quip, like what's gonna.
No,
you in the
sometimes it will
face?
be like a
Iron
way to
fist.
get the Riddler distracted because the Riddler wants to. He thinks he's the smartest guy. He wants to solve all the riddles.
Yeah. Well, that's not what we're talking about here.
No, Tim. We're talking about what are we talking? What's the title we settled on?
Writing.
Writing. Yes, Tim. You might not know this, but I'm a writer.
I've heard
Yeah,
you wrote a book one time.
Tim. I've written technically four, maybe 5 books. One time each, though. That's true.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Someone like me, I'm writing a book a day.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
that's now are you talking pamphlets or are you talking books?
No. Every day I write the book is what I say, Tom.
I don't know what that means.
It's a popular song, Tom.
Every day I write the book?
Yeah.
A new song?
No,
What song is it?
it's an Elvis Costello song.
Oh. I don't
You don't know that
one.
song?
No.
It's a good song.
What's the name of it?
Every day I write the book.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, easy to remember. No, Tim.
Yeah, no, I've never actually read a book, Tom. I'm not sure if you know this about me. I don't know how
kinda
to read or
figured
write.
it. No. So I just wrote and put out my 4th book. I say 4th or 5th because there was a novella
Right.
too, which is
An
technically
erotic novella.
It's not. No, none of these books are erotic, Tim. They're all for young adults.
Well, they're all kind of like pickup artist books.
They're all books about how to pick up widowers at
Arboretums.
yeah at different places where people go birding.
Yeah.
No, Tim. We did an episode like a while ago when I put out my first book
Yeah.
about writing a
Must
book.
have been a year ago at least.
No, it was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, I said
5
at
and a half
least.
years ago.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so you're right. You said at least a year. We did that, and people went crazy for it. People loved it. They've been demanding an updated version because that was just kind of.
What did you know about writing books at that time? You had written one.
I knew jack shit. I don't think, and I think when that. Yeah, no, the episode came out when the book came out, or maybe right before the book came out.
Yeah. You were using it as a promotional device.
Yeah, much
Hey,
like
wait
this
a
one.
minute.
Yeah.
What's the name of your new book?
Omni's Fall, Tim.
Omni's Fall.
Yeah, it's in the same series. All the books I've written are in a series.
Okay. A series of books
A series of books.
called Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, you wish. Tim, you love Metal Gear Solid.
I loved Metal
But
Gear
you
Solid.
loved it. You didn't keep up on Metal Gear Solid.
No, one's enough for me. You know what? Metal Gear Solid was a video game, and it was a series of video games, I guess, afterwards.
Yeah, they got up to 5 at least.
Metal Gear Liquid, Metal Gear
There
Gas.
was Liquid Snake.
Metal Gear Plasma.
I mean, I don't know if you're making a joke, but like there was Liquid Snake.
Yeah, no, I'm not making a joke.
But I mean, I think
If
you
it was
are,
a
'cause
joke, it would have been funny.
I don't
Tom.
think there are other ones. I don't think there was a gas one.
Well, you know, depends
Not
on
yet.
who's playing, right? So anyway, my new thing: no sequels. I'm not seeing any sequels. I'm not reading any sequels except for your book.
Uh-huh.
Mostly movies. Enough with the sequels. I saw the movie Us this weekend. No spoilers.
Yeah.
But Tom, you saw it also. We saw it at
Mhm.
the same showing.
Yeah.
And there are people like, oh man, could you imagine what a sequel would be like? It's
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, just hey, how about you enjoy the movie as is?
Yeah. If it was anyone,
Make up one in your head. Talk
Yeah.
about it with your friends. Do a role playing version of it. I don't know.
I could see though, like, I mean, Jordan Peele's been around long enough that, like, I'm sure whatever contract he had to like make this movie, it was like, oh, and you can't make another one without my okay.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I could see that it would be like a purge situation of like, oh, this was popular. There's going to be another one next year and the year after and
Right.
the year after.
You're talking about
but
the actual Purge, not the movies.
no, the movies. Well, and I
In
think
that-
that
in
was
that
what happened in the
universe.
universe. It was yearly too.
Yeah, because they were going to try it once, and they were like, this is great. Did you see the movie The First Purge?
I haven't seen any of the Purge movies.
Oh, I saw the first Purge movie, not the
Oh,
first
the
Purge.
first one that came out?
Yeah, The Purge. It was good.
Not the third one, I think, which was called The First Purge. Or maybe the fourth one?
Yeah, I think it was the fourth one.
Yeah. But I mean, that's what they do in horror movies. Like, something works, like, especially if it's like a new idea.
Something purges, purge it again.
No, but like, so like the Purge, Saw, where it's like a pretty simple idea. Like, Saw was basically like, people wake up and they're in like a torture room and they have to get out. They have to try and get out of the torture room, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen any of the Saw movies either. But like, those are ideas that are easily repeatable. And Us kind of would be. Like, it wouldn't be good, but you could see how, like, oh, they could
No
just,
spoilers.
yeah, they could do this again.
Yeah.
With different characters.
We're talking about your book, Tom.
Right.
Omni's Revenge.
No, Omni's Fall, not God. Damn it.
Do you-
Look, I don't know why I even sponsored this episode if you're not even going to say the name right.
Classic SpawnCon right here.
Yeah, sponsored content. No, but I'm not talking about like the books themselves, Tim. I'm here to talk about not the craft, I guess, but I mean maybe the craft a little bit. Just about writing in general.
Wait,
no, not the craft.
Fairuza Balk and the movie The Craft?
No, I don't think I've really even seen the craft either.
Tom,
I haven't seen a lot of movies.
I know, because they don't have superheroes in them. You're not interested.
Yeah, I mean witches can be superheroes sometimes.
Name one superhero witch.
Scarlet Witch.
Name 5 superhero witches.
Oh, 5 is going to be tough.
Name 2.
Don't.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, there's definitely another one that I can't think of.
We're
off
here
the
to
top of my
talk
head.
about the process of writing.
Yeah, Tim.
And I wouldn't know about this. I journal sometimes.
What do you write in your journal?
I don't actually really. I have one of those 5-year journals, Tom,
Yeah.
where you're supposed to write like a little bit a day.
For 5 years.
For 5, yeah, like, and then like, it's. Have I talked about this? Right? What is it?
Maybe in private.
It's a date. Every page is a date, and then it's
Well,
5.
don't tell your wife.
And then it's 5 sections.
I have a date with a book.
Tom,
Sorry.
stop
continue.
trying to break up my marriage on the podcast. She doesn't listen. It's not gonna work. I don't let you see her in person anymore after the crap you pulled.
Wow.
So anyway, the 5-year journal. I never remember to write in it.
Yeah.
Bad at it. So no, I don't really write. I write emails, but not really.
Yeah. Most of the time, you don't respond to my emails. So.
Yeah, I don't respond to a lot. I don't respond to personal emails. Professional emails, I'll respond to.
Yeah. I'll say this. So I wanted to talk a little bit because people ask me, you're going to say that they don't, but they do ask me for like advice all the time.
Okay.
Uh,
About what?
about everything, man. Everything under, hey, what's the best way to wake up?
Wow. Did you tell him about the Philips alarm clock?
Yeah, or if you have access to real birds, get those.
Yeah.
Because that'll help you
Or
out with the
sometimes you're
ladies,
like,
too.
or just come over and sleep over to trick you into sleeping in my...
Yeah, just come sleep in my bed. I'll sleep on the couch, but you'll wake up. Tell me what time to set the alarm for. You'll be really impressed with how nicely this alarm wakes you up.
You're
no,
a very specific type of creep, Tom Reynolds.
I'll preface any advice I give with this. I do not think I am a good writer.
Tom.
No, and I'm not saying that for sympathy. I'm saying that, and actually, I heard recently somebody say this where
You're not a good writer.
Yes, actually. Yeah, I did recently read a review that said as much. No, but like,
Sorry about that.
well, look, Tim, your opinion's your own. No, but like there's some quote from some famous person or whatever where they were like the only people who think they're good writers are bad writers.
Yeah.
But I don't think that applies to me either. I'm just saying this. I'm not proclaiming myself to be an expert on this at all. But I've done it. So I can tell you.
So suck it. Right?
No. I'm saying, no, God damn it, Tim.
Take that, all my teachers from high school said I'd never amount to anything.
No, you know what? And actually, like, I've heard that critique, not critique, like, I've heard of other authors who are like, yeah, my English teacher told me this and that. And I'm like, were they really that mean, or were they trying to just give you, like, feedback?
Right.
Like, I think that kind of stuff's overblown. Like, I don't have any, like, oh, yeah, this person, like, I'm not writing books to show anybody,
You're not winning them to win my friendship, writing them to win my friendship?
No, I'm writing them to win. I'm saying I'm not writing them as a form of revenge against anybody. That's not something that makes a lot of sense to me.
I feel like you are primarily motivated by spite.
If I was motivated by spite, I'd be writing books quicker.
What are you motivated by? Shame? That's what I'm mostly motivated by.
I'm crippled by shame.
Yeah, but it's two sides of the same coin, right?
Yeah, I guess maybe. Huh. I don't know what motivates me.
Guilt and shame really
guilt and
hinder
shame,
and motivate me.
Guilt and shame motivate me not to do things every 10 minutes or so. But
yeah, but then also it's if you ever get anything done, it's because like, man, if I don't do this, I'm gonna
be shamed.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
'cause there's
100%.
like a deadline, or and like, like if like I don't know, a big project at work, or you like turning in your draft to your editor or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you can miss those deadlines, right? But like, and
you're not going to get thrown in jail.
And the consequence is just somebody's gonna like be like, blah, and you're gonna get like, you're gonna feel ashamed, right?
I would rather be thrown in jail.
I would rather be thrown in jail than somebody be like,
so I will.
Understand.
So
why didn't you just do this task?
Just put. Hey! I'm already going to jail. You're not allowed to say that to me. That's a whole agreement here. I go to jail, and you don't say this to me.
Man, if you could do like 30 days, not 30 days. I don't want to go to jail. Jail would, I'd get really good at push-ups.
Would you? I don't think you would,
so.
because I think you'd be like, oh, other prisoners are watching me do push-ups, and they're gonna know I'm like not doing them right.
Yeah, but maybe they'll give constructive criticism.
That's what prisoners are known for.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Hey, keep your knees straight. Don't bend your knees when you do them.
Well,
from across the cell block.
Sorry, at first I have to do the ones where you put your knees on the ground and you basically just do the arm motions.
You're arching your back.
I'll work
keep your
up
back
to.
straight.
I know it's tough. I'll work up to the proper form.
No, but I would say, Tim, Tom's tip number 1.
Nice.
I mean, it wouldn't have been my first tip, but it came up naturally, so now it is.
Go to jail.
Look, jail's horrible. I never ever want to go to jail. However, when you get a lot done in jail,
You know what?
Reading and stuff.
Yeah, but guess what?
Then you'd be in jail. It's no trade-off for that for sure.
No, I disagree with your premise because you and I have a lot of free time.
That's true. Yeah.
We pretend like we don't.
Yeah. Because there are so many
We're just bad at
distractions.
managing our time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is tip number 2. However, I haven't even said what tip number 1 is.
No, it's go to
Tim,
jail.
you're moving quicker than I. Yeah. Tip number 1 is go to jail. No. Tip number 1: deadlines.
Ugh.
Deadlines are a very motivating factor in writing.
Okay. Self-imposed deadlines?
Yeah, but they have to be accountable to somebody else.
Yeah. Who are you accountable to when you write?
So, like, I
And
don't.
your dog doesn't count.
No, my dog would
Ginger,
never hold
bite me if I
accountable.
don't finish 3 chapters by Friday.
You have to promise to bite me. No, I mean you need self-imposed deadlines because like you can't bother people too with like make sure I write this many words every day. So
Otherwise, hit me, stab me.
no, I mean we already said shame's motivating enough.
Yeah.
Shame me, pants me in
Ooh,
public.
Yeah.
No. So self-motivated like X amount of words a day are really good, and you can kind of rely somewhat on shame to get those going, especially like once you do it a few times, then you like don't want to
Don't
break
break
a
the
streak.
Yeah. That's the only reason we still do this show, Tom.
Oh, 100%.
We've been doing it every week for like 10 years.
Yeah, we can't break the streak or else shame will
It's not
happen.
going to be the week that we don't deliver.
But outside of that, so I guess this is like another caveat. I am an indie author.
Cool. Like Pavement.
Like Pavement.
Are you the Pavement? Are you like the Duster of
Guster or Duster?
Duster?
I don't know, Duster.
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't. They're independent.
Oh, okay. So I'm an indie author.
Of writing.
Which means I do not publish through a publishing house. I have published some of my audiobooks through a publishing house.
Random House.
Not Random. Tim, that's the only house you know.
Yeah. Bantam
No.
Books.
Yeah, that's another publishing.
You
I
know
think they
what?
might be part of Random House.
Yeah. There was something. Is it possible that I had a poster on my wall of a book when I was a kid?
Wow.
Maybe. But it said,
I thought you were going to claim you had a Bantam Books poster.
No, but on the bottom it said Bantam Books.
Yeah.
And I remember, because like the bottom of the poster was like kind of near my head where I was would go to sleep when I was really little, and I remember thinking, you switched 2 letters right there. You got Batman.
Yeah. I mean, you could have gotten a Batman poster if that's what you wanted. I'm sure
No,
they
I
had
wasn't
that
allowed to
too.
have a Batman poster as a kid.
That's,
My parents didn't want me to know about Batman.
That's why not?
Eh,
All right, the last thing we need is a kid with a thirst for vengeance.
yeah, vigilante streak.
When I was a kid, I had Pac-Man sheets,
Nice.
bed sheets, and I guess Pac-Man's litigious or afraid of
The character?
yeah.
He's afraid of being sued?
He's afraid of being sued, or no, he's wants to sue other people. So for whatever reason, this had like a trademark symbol next to every individual character, like the ghosts, the pellets, everything. But so it said TM, and as a kid, I was like, oh, it's short for Tom, which is my name, which is why. Oh, these are like. I think I thought they were like personalized, like embroidered.
Nice.
What do you call that? Monogrammed.
Right.
But that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I didn't know as a kid.
Yeah. We were dumb kids.
I don't think I probably even knew I had a last name or what it was.
Yeah. Well, it certainly didn't begin with an M.
No. Anyway, what was I saying?
Self-imposed deadlines.
Self-imposed deadlines. Oh, but I was saying, so I'm indie published.
Oh, yeah.
So like everything's up to me. So I have to hire editors and proofreaders and stuff. But that winds up being a very motivating deadline because when you're hiring these people, like you can't hire them and be like, I'm all done. Here's my work, like, and get that back to me in a couple of weeks. Like, these people are booked.
Right.
So you kind of have to like figure out ahead of time, like, okay, I think I'm going to be done by this point. So let me book somebody now knowing it's going to take probably like at least like a month or two to get a free opening. And you can do it where you're like, no, I'll be completely done before I even do that. But then it's like, well, now I'm just sitting on this.
Right.
So that winds up being a good. I still will not do it until I have a first draft done. Then I'll reach out to my editor to find a slot.
Where do you find your editor? ZipRecruiter.com?
They're not a sponsor this week, Tim.
Oh.
I told you I sponsored this week.
Oh, right.
That's why it's sponsored content.
Where do you find your editor from the Meta series of books?
I go to Amazon.com and I search Meta Tom Reynolds. That's where I find them.
Are you going to change your name to Meta Tom Reynolds?
No, why would I need to?
Well, it worked for Meta World Peace.
That's true. Did it work for him, though?
Yeah, everybody forgot that he like choked somebody one time.
Yeah, but do we have world peace?
One could argue yes.
I mean, it's the most peaceful time of any time in history. People always forget that.
Wow, Tom.
So deadlines, that's a big one. What was the second thing that came up?
That you're an indie author?
No. You said something. I said that's tip number 2.
Wait, you don't have these tips written out?
No, I told you, Tim. The tips are coming out as...
You didn't write these tips?
No, I have things to talk about.
I have other questions for you.
All right. No, what the hell was tip number 2?
Maybe this will jog your memory. Question number 1.
Oh, you have prepared questions.
Yeah. Where do you get your ideas?
Boy, Tim, I'm glad you asked. I don't know, man.
Okay. Question number 2.
Oh, actually, I will say this. I can give actual advice for this. Take notes. Like, and this goes for like any kind of creative thing. Or
Yeah,
even
like if you're
non-creative thing.
gonna have a list of tips that you want to give people on your
write 'em down
popular podcast,
beforehand.
write it out so you're not going. What was number 2? What were we talking about when I thought
Well,
of this?
because the tips come faster than my mind works.
Than a human pencil, than a human hand can maneuver a pencil.
Sometimes it feels that way. No, but I would say taking notes is real important, and like whatever works for you. If taking handwritten notes works for you, sometimes I do that. Sometimes I get like real into handwritten notes. Sometimes I use apps.
Applications.
I've used Evernote. I've used OneNote. I currently use Bear. I've used Ulysses.
Why do you switch note-taking apps so often?
Because I think I'm an idiot that constantly thinks
Confirmed.
the problem is the wrong app. Like, let me switch apps. I mean, and honestly, though, that does kind of work sometimes. Like, if there's a new app, then it's like, well, now I have an excuse to try this out. Let me take some notes. But I use Ulysses for a while, and now I use Bear, and they're both very similar. Just like real no-frills note-taking apps.
So you get your ideas from the apps, you're saying?
Yeah, the apps, they'll just give me ideas sometimes.
Great.
Like, my next book's about a bear.
Nice.
The one before that was Ulysses.
Yeah. I can't believe you wrote...
Ulysses 2.
Oh, yeah.
The Revenge.
This doesn't apply to you, my second question, but how do people write books so quickly?
Look, I can sometimes write books quickly. It took a long time between the last book and this book, which is why.
Because there's all the thinking. There's all the switching of note-taking.
Yeah,
apps.
I mean, honestly, it was just waiting for the notes to migrate from one app to another. No, I had a ton of false starts on different ideas, different books, which I'll get to how to avoid doing that in a moment.
Okay. Have you ever met Michael Crichton?
Tim, were those all your questions? Do you have any further questions?
Hold on. I had one more. Oh, no. Yeah, the last one was, are your books some kind of pickup artist books? And we've talked about that.
Yeah. No, they're not. I kind of I don't know if I do or not. I was going to say I kind of regret sometimes not writing under a nom de plume.
Why?
I don't know. Just because like it gives you flexibility. Like
You can still
'cause
do it.
Yeah. No, I mean I can't. I can with different books, but I'm saying
No,
like,
the next book in the meta series will be by a different guy.
oh, that'd be fun if it was like, but I wrote the forward, and I was like, oh, I had this guy write it.
Yeah. Hey, and people will be
Who
like,
would I be tricking to what end?
because people might be like, hey, you'd be like, I can see the difference in style. People would say that.
Then what would I gain from that?
You'd be like, idiots.
Yeah, that's what I like doing. Being like, my reader.
Yeah, the
You
people- the
idiot, I
person that
tricked you.
bought and read my book.
Yeah, haha.
Do you hate the library, Tom?
No.
I know that a lot of authors hate the library.
Is that true?
Because it cuts into sales.
No, I haven't found that to be the case. So again, because I'm indie, I have a weird situation. I actually need to. There's another thing I need to. I'm not going to get into.
Well, you've been banned from a lot of libraries.
I'm not
not
gonna
your
get-
books, but you as a person.
I'm not
right?
going to get too much into technicalities, but there's a way that I can make my books available through a different, the physical books. But the majority of the books I sell are electronic books.
ebooks.
Boop, 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 boop. They're read on Kindles.
Mm-hmm.
They're read in different apps.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Applications.
But there are, you just saw my new paperback.
Yeah.
Earlier. So there are paperbacks too.
The cover was a little waxy. I liked it.
That's,
You know what I mean?
That's
What's that called?
surf wax. I had sex wax.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I put that on myself. I
That's
like to
so the
wax all
book
my
doesn't
books.
slip out of your hands.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, but there's like another distributor that I can put my books through that I keep meaning to like go through all that because more places will carry my books if I go through that distributor.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's like pretty much everything's through Amazon, and understandably, a lot of bookstores don't want to carry Like, if you go to a bookstore and you're like, "I want this book," like they can order it, but they'll probably also be like, "But if I put it through some
Like,
distributor, I can."
What do you mean, like?
Like, oh, it's through Amazon. Like,
Oh,
we
yeah.
hate Amazon.
Yeah.
But I can do it through another distributor that will get it into more bookstores and stuff like that. But my book is in like some libraries around the country. Because if you go into a library, here's the thing people don't know about libraries. You go into a library, they don't have a book you want. You tell them, hey, I want this book. They'll order it.
They're legally obligated
No,
to
they're
buy
not
it for
legally
you.
obligated, but like they want to buy books that people want. I'm not saying
Right.
this as a like go to your library and tell them to order my books. I'm just
Yeah.
saying it as if they don't have a book you want.
Demand it.
Demand it. Unless it's like they don't have the book because it's like the Anarchist
Smut.
Cookbook or something.
Yeah, or smut.
You don't have the new Penthouse. I demand it.
And they'll be like, no, we only have Penthouse Forum because it's literary.
But so my books in libraries. I like libraries, Tim. I'd be thrilled if my book were in more libraries teaching America's
Yeah,
youth.
but you'd be thrilled
can
if they
get
started
my-
letting you back in libraries, huh?
You can get my ebook through a lot of libraries too, which is another thing people don't know about ebooks from libraries. They're great.
I borderline abuse the ebook lending from my library.
What do you mean? Are you reselling these ebooks?
No, I'm just
You
I
got so many out.
I get so many of them.
Yeah, it's great. There's a lot of
You can get a book and read it from your couch for free
yeah.
without even moving.
Oh yeah, and you can do it on like your Kindle, or it's the same exact like.
Yeah, it's the
Uh,
book. It's the
I'm
same words.
I'm reading a book right now on my Kindle from the library because like I saw the book.
Tom,
I saw
me
the
too.
book on Amazon and I was like, oh, $12. I want to spend $12. Go to the library. They have it.
Yeah,
And then it brings me back to the Amazon page and it's like, here you go.
yeah.
Here's a book for free.
Sucker.
You only get it for like a couple of weeks, but hey, guess what? I'm going to read it in a couple of weeks.
And then what happens? You throw the Kindle out and buy a new one?
I
can
think
you
they
reuse
come
it?
and take it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or you can bring it to the library.
Yeah. Tom, this isn't about the process. You got to talk more about the process.
Yeah.
How do you write a book?
All right, so notes are a big thing. You got to keep notes of any random ideas, but then outlining. I'm big on outlining. There are two types of writers, plotters and pantsers.
Pantsers?
Pantsers, people who are writing by the seat of their pants.
That's what oh no. My high school bully was a pantser, but in a different way.
Well, and he's
She.
and she's a very well-known romance author now. Who writes by the seat of her pants.
Yeah.
As
so
she bullied you.
When you found out that it was a woman, a female that was bullying me, you had to change it to a romance author?
No, it was going to be a romance author regardless. I know women write things other than romance, Tim.
Do you, though?
And men write romance, too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All of them perverts.
Well, now you're the one who's...
What? Anybody who writes a romance novel is a pervert. That's fine. That's a fine thing to say.
That's fine. You're the one to blame for assuming if a woman's a writer, she writes romance.
Yeah.
So by your logic, I assume all women are perverts.
Yes.
That's what you're... Okay.
Bird perverts.
Right.
Sorry. Go on.
So...
Plotters and pantsers. You're a plotter?
Yes. And like... people that can write by the seat of their pants, more power to them. Like,
I feel like that has a lot of rewriting involved. A lot more rewriting if you're going by the seat of your pants. Because then you're like, oh man, I should tie that back to this, so I should have put this back there.
Well, and that's the thing. Some people are pantsers, like that is how they do it. Like, some people are like purely like, here's my first draft and it's done. A lot of times, though, there's people, they kind of brag about that. But the truth is, like, they're going back as they're rewriting. Like, it's not literally like, here's one long sheet. It's like, the next day I went and looked at, like, the last 2 chapters and, like, cleaned up a few things and then wrote the next one.
Do you ever say, whenever you meet a pantser, do they ever go, read my manuscript? And then you go like this, that's not writing, my boy, that's typing.
No, I don't think I've ever done.
Have you ever said that?
No.
To a pantser?
No.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
No, like I said, I'm jealous of people that can do it. I can't do it.
Some people would say that's not writing.
That's
my
typing.
boy, that's typing.
Is that from something? Why do you keep saying that?
This is just what people say sometimes.
So I would say a strong outline, and this is the thing that I'm not always great at. Like, I'm trying to get better at that. Like, I'll write an outline. I'll be like, this is great. This is perfect. Everything makes sense. Everything aligns up. Time to write the book. And then, like, pretty soon into the book, I'll be like, oh, I should change this, which is fine. You should feel free to change things. But I find it more helpful to then go back to the outline, change the outline, and kind of look at, like, all right, did that change anything else here?
Right.
But at least for me, an outline is nice to have. It's a nice thing to write out, figure out your story, and then write your story.
Do you have a list of characters also?
Do
you have a Bible?
No. I should do that though. I keep meaning to
I'll do that for you.
keep meaning to be better at that. I mean, like the main characters in my series, like I know them pretty much inside and out, so I don't get things screwed up with them. But external character, like peripheral characters, I could get better at, like, keeping track of things about them.
Yeah, you should just use characters from other books or movies.
Well, Tim, that's fan fiction, and that is a thing that people do. That it's actually like. People shit on fan fiction.
Yeah.
And look, a lot of fan fiction deserves to be shit on.
Yeah.
But for somebody starting out, like, what a great, because, like, the characters are set. And that's kind of the hardest part of writing, coming up with compelling characters.
Yeah. I have a series of books where Gonzo is a homicide detective.
Tim, if that were true, that would be great. I would read that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it now. I think I might
You said it as a joke, and it's like, oh, that would be really cool.
No, I was actually trying to come up with the coolest fan fiction I could think of.
Would you write it and then afterwards pull a 50 Shades of Grey and just do, like, a character name and replace? And, like, everybody would know it's Gonzo, but you'd be like, oh, this is Bonzo.
Yeah, I'd probably name it something other than Bonzo, though, because
Yeah.
I think the Jim Henson or Disney at this point would be like, hey.
They're not very litigious, I've heard.
Yeah, that's true.
And instead of like having a thing for chickens, you'd have a thing for like geese or something.
Yeah. Well, I can't abide that.
Yeah, that seems
Nobody likes
creepier,
geese.
right?
Yeah. Except for maybe some of the ladies you trick.
No, Tim, it's always small birds I tell them
Okay.
I have. Songbirds.
Oh. So you tell old ladies
Yeah.
that you have a bunch of small songbirds in your apartment.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's late out there asleep.
Yeah.
by-
Okay.
By the time they come over. Notes?
I hate to say this, but are these women like these elderly women? Do they have their wits about them?
A lot of times they can't see all that well,
Okay.
so like I can tell them like the birds are over there,
Yeah.
but they're sleeping and like they're they just kind of go, oh yeah, I
Mm.
see them,
Okay.
and I know they can't
Well, that's
see
just tragic.
'em.
Yeah,
Well,
that makes me feel very sad inside, Tom.
look, they hear the birds in the morning, and that's all that matters.
All right.
Software,
Software.
yeah. I write in a program called Scrivener. That's great.
Yeah, you convinced me to buy this program, even though I don't write.
Yeah, that's how great it is.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's for Mac and PC. That's the program I would recommend.
Are they also sponsoring the podcast?
No.
All right, so I'll bleep that out.
Yeah, bleep that out and put in the name of my series. So then people are like, well, he writes using the books he writes. I guess I'll have to buy those. Oh, and then here's like the final thing.
Tom's tip.
The final Tom's tip, or like maybe like 2 tips.
You haven't really thought out these tips so well, huh?
No, because here's the thing too. Like my writing routines change constantly.
Yeah, Tom, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
What do you do during the day?
So here's my.
I go to work every day.
Yeah.
Bust my ass down at the quarry.
Right.
And you're just like, oh, I'm just going to, look, don't worry about what I do. I'm just going to wake
just
up
gonna
to a
escape-
gentle light and bird song.
Yeah, and then escape into a land of fantasy and imagination.
Yeah. Must be nice.
Your
Your last book came out when? 3 years ago?
No, this one just came out. It came out this past week. God damn it, Tim. That's why they're sponsoring.
No, before that one.
Oh, before that, there was a novella, but yeah, the last one was. It did take a while.
All right. So I want to know what you've been doing. A fall starts.
Yeah, well, so during that time, actually, like I was working on other books that, like, and one of them actually did get finished, and it sucks. Like outside of the series, completely separate thing.
Can I read it?
I don't even know where it is. I didn't.
Probably on your computer.
Yeah, I mean
somewhere.
it's probably on my computer. Like I didn't delete it. I would never delete
Yeah.
it. But I don't think it has an ending. Maybe I'll find it.
Did
I'm
you?
sure it's like literally unreadable.
We'll see.
It was written in wingdings.
Well, that's. Hey, somebody's working on or has.
Hey, somebody's wingdings is another man's English.
Yeah, somebody's doing an emoji novel, right?
There are emoji, like, not anymore. I think it was like, when emoji first came out.
Yeah.
There was a Moby Dick that was like emoji
Oh,
dick.
right.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
But I think people are like, oh, that's clever. Oh, you want me to buy it? No, I'm not going to buy it.
And
That's
plus,
a funny chuckle.
plus all the ink, they had to print that in color.
Oh, I thought you were going to imply that it was made with whale ink.
Oh no! Ooh, well that's something to consider.
Yeah, there are probably Moby Dick novels written in whale ink,
Wow.
printed in whale ink.
Is whale ink a thing?
Yeah, right. Maybe I'm thinking of squids.
Maybe. Do you think they ever did an edition of Moby Dick as Scrimshaw?
Yeah, probably.
There's just like a bag of Scrimshaw somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, Moby
Dick's
Dick's long. It would
Yeah.
be like a room of Scrimshaw,
Yeah.
probably.
be nice.
Tim, thank you for bringing up another one of my tips, which is routine.
Ah, yes.
You have to get into a constant routine with writing. Now, I'm not always good at this.
You thanked me for bringing up your routine by asking, "What do you do?" I don't think you do anything.
So what I do
Yeah.
is I work out of a writing space. I have it's not a private space, but it's like a co-working space, but it's only for writers.
So you have somewhere to go every day.
I have somewhere to go every day.
So you have to get dressed.
I have to get dressed. Yeah, like I'm not, and again, I'm jealous of these people, but there are some people that are like, oh, work in my pajamas all day. If I do that for even like half a day, I feel worthless. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't make me feel comfortable. I don't like it. So I like getting dressed, brushing my teeth, going to the bathroom.
Well, most people should brush their teeth and go to the bathroom.
No, a lot of these people, a lot of stay-at-home writers, they don't even.
They don't go to the
They don't go to the
bathroom?
bathroom. They don't brush their teeth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's impressive, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
That
hey,
they
if you
don't
can
have
make
to
it
go to the
work.
bathroom. Yeah.
No, but well, before I had this writer space, I went to the library, which is why, despite your best efforts, I can't make fun of the library, Tim. I can't hate it.
I
Because,
love the library, Tom.
it's a great. People always forget, like that's a great place to go work for free. Like people,
The people hanging at my library aren't like the atmosphere isn't conducive to writing a novel. I don't
put
think.
headphones on. It's fine. But like the people that are like, working at coffee places can get expensive because you have to buy coffees. If that's you, then go to the library. That's what I did.
Yeah.
But I have a co-working space in Manhattan that's only for writers, which means in the writing space itself, there's no talking, no eating, nothing like
Nice.
that. You can't make noise. So it's always quiet, which is nice. So I go there every day. And there's nothing else there except for what I bring with me at my desk. So it's like,
Granola bars,
granola bars,
a big gulp.
a boombox. No, I don't do that.
Cigarettes.
I don't do it that much anymore. But there was a phase that I was getting Rockstar energy drinks.
What?
Yeah, and I would always be embarrassed bringing them into a writing
You
space.
should be.
Yeah.
You should be embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed at the writing space all the time anyway, because they're actually like really, like I'm not going to name
Michael
drop.
Crichton.
Not Michael Crichton, but there are like some well-known like literary figures that work out of there.
Malcolm Gladwell.
No.
James Patterson.
No.
O.J. Simpson.
Damn, he only wrote that one book.
Did you ghostwrite that book, Tom?
If I did it?
Yeah.
No. I've never ghostwritten anything. If I'm writing something, you're going to know about it. Unless I use pen names like
Yeah.
I said I might.
Like you said, you really wish you did.
Right.
You can still probably promote it on this show.
But it's nice to go to a place that's separate from your home to write. I feel that helps me focus. Oh, that was tip number 2, focus. Eliminating distractions is also key. Find a way to eliminate distractions. I use an app called Freedom.
What is this?
It's on my phone and my computer. You set a time. It can be anything from like a minute to multiple hours.
Uh-huh.
And
A minute to 5 minutes.
And to be honest, I usually use 25 minutes.
Okay.
It turns off the internet but not just on the device you're using, because you register all your devices. It turns them off on everything.
But you could get it back on.
No, even if you like restart your computer, you can't get it back.
Surely you can, though, right?
No, or I mean,
There's an emergency, right?
no. I mean, maybe there's like a hack way to do it, but like whatever the way, if there is a way to do that, it's difficult enough that, yeah. I mean, I guess you could like uninstall the software.
Right. I would resort to that.
Yeah, so they put enough roadblocks that like
Yeah.
you'd really have to do it. But it's great because it turns everything off, and then you can just be like, all right, well, I got nothing else to do.
Is that
I
why you
guess I'm gonna do
sometimes
this.
take so long to respond to my Slack messages?
Yeah, no, it is sometimes because I'm not getting them because I'm
Off the grid.
experiencing freedom.
Yeah, I mean, those 25 minutes that you do those chunks are probably the least connected you've ever been in the last 20 years. Yeah.
Absolutely. Not 20 years,
10
like
years,
10 years,
yeah.
yeah, freedom's great. I mean, and if you have enough self-control, like just turn off your Wi-Fi or whatever, but this is better.
Do you ever do that at the writing space?
No, because everything I write is saved to Dropbox, and I get nervous. So you can like have
That's the way
exclusions.
Hemingway did it.
You can have exclusions where it's like, oh, Dropbox is fine because I can't like go dick around on Dropbox to kill time.
Right.
But like I want what I'm writing saved and just in case. Like I'm crazy about that kind of stuff too, like having multiple backups. And also music. I enjoy listening to soundtracks.
Yeah, video game soundtracks.
Video game soundtracks. I listen to cyberpunk songs.
What?
Cyberpunk.
Why would you listen to what is cyberpunk?
Like not cyberpunk, like synthwave.
What's synthwaves?
It's like
Wave.
chill. You know what chill wave is?
Yeah.
It's kind of like chill wave, but with more synthesizers. So it's
Huh.
like cyberpunky.
What
It
is
works for me.
cyberpunk?
I
I
like
don't
it.
understand.
Like Blade Runner. It's not
I've
the
never seen
genre I
Blade.
write, but I like listening to that stuff. Although sometimes I listen to just like white noise. I can't.
That's
listen,
crazy.
I can't listen to lyrics. Things with lyrics, really. I can if it's like songs I know well enough that like I'm not processing
Yeah.
the lyrics, but otherwise I have to listen to things that don't have words, so I can come up with the words myself.
A real wordsmith.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other tips?
I think those are the only tips.
Tom, I just want to tell you, you started this out by saying you don't think you're a good writer, and I don't think I properly said, Tom, I think you're a good writer.
Oh.
I like your books.
Tim, that's all I wanted. That was
Phew. We didn't have to do this for the last hour.
no. We can stop doing the show. I can stop writing these books.
Oh, my God.
All I've wanted is
That's
your
a-
approval the whole time.
Tom, what's your favorite word?
I don't have a favorite word.
Tom, what's your least favorite word?
Oh, I see. It's like the actors workshop thing.
Yeah.
I'm not an actor, Tim. Tim, you obviously haven't been paying attention.
Tom,
this whole
what turns you on?
time. Oh, I don't like.
I don't
those.
like that question. Turns you off? What sound do you no? What sound do you hate? What sound do you hate?
Car alarms.
Yeah, that's real original. What's your favorite curse word?
I don't really like curse words.
What profession other than yours would you like to attempt?
Birder.
Birder. Tom, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Hey, this guy.
Hey, that's what I want to hear too.
Hey, you made it.
If God's greeting you, that's a good sign.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right?
it's not just
Saint
St. Peter, the
yeah.
maitre d'.
Yeah.
God comes out from the kitchen.
Yeah. He's in the kitchen. Oh,
Yeah.
he's making all the people and
Yeah,
stuff, right?
he's like, I got some new people I'm cooking up, but I heard that you were coming.
So the last batches are a bunch of real assholes.
Yeah, the last batch was a little undercooked.
Yeah. Tom,
Yeah,
thank you for this insight to your writing process.
hey,
And I've been inspired to write a book of my own.
about Detective Gonzo.
Yeah.
Do you want to solve a problem or no?
Tom, we don't have time for that.
No,
But we
yeah.
have a good one for next week.
Yeah, all right.
So tune in next week as we solve a
The
problem.
dramatic I guess it's not a conclusion, just another
Yeah.
thing. Oh, yeah, I'll do all the plugs. If you like the show, go to tcgt.com to find out more. You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/complete guide. You can follow us on Twitter at complete guide. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Tom Reynolds.
Follow me at your pal Tim.
You can support the show by buying my books on Amazon.
What?
tcgt.com/Amazon, and then you search Tom Reynolds. Tom Reynolds
Detective
meta.
Gonzo.
Because there are other Tom Reynoldses that write books, and they're not me. There's a
Yeah.
new one, which is
Oh,
rude, to be
jeez.
honest.
Is it that congressman?
No. But I have TomReynolds.com, and you can't take that away from me unless I forget to renew my domain. But guess what? I always remember.
Yeah, they send you emails. They
Yeah.
just want you to renew it. It's
Oh, of
easier
course.
if you
It's
renew
easier
it.
on
Yeah,
them.
Yeah.
Less work. You can also support the show. Hey, if you've been listening to this and you're like, how do I find out more about these books everybody's talking about? I got the solution for you. Patreon.com/complete guide, where you can support this show and get weekly access to our new podcast, Books the Podcast, where we read some of the classics and discuss them at each other This week, we just finished Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, we wrapped that up. And starting next week, we're reading The Outsiders.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Official announcement. The Outsiders.
Yeah.
The next book. And this week's episode, the one that is already out at this point, is Tim watched Lord of the Flies, the movie.
Yeah.
And
the
we
old
discuss
movie in black
how
and
it
white.
compares to the book. Hey, are books better than movies? Find out. Patreon.com/complete guide.
How do you fall on books? Movies are better than books, right? I don't know, actually.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. I'll say this too about being. All right, so two questions I hate as an author. One is, hey, are they going to make a movie out of your book?
Right. What do you say to that? Yes?
Yes, they are.
Are they, though?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it would be neat, but it's also like, I don't know. I was going to say maybe I'm too sensitive. I am too sensitive. I was going to say like it's a little bit insulting of like, oh, it's only like
A book's not good enough for you?
like a book's not good unless they make a movie out of it.
Yeah.
But I don't even think that's insulting. I just think like, I don't know, people need something to say. The other weird thing that I don't like, both these things make me sound like a huge asshole, is if somebody asks what I do and I say I'm an author, sometimes the immediate next question is, oh, anything I've read? And like, that question always comes from people who aren't big readers.
You should just be like, Catcher in the Rye. See if they know.
No, it's just like a weird, like anytime I've been like, oh, like, of course not, probably not.
Yeah, but it's also like a polite thing to say, I think.
Yeah,
I think
it's
they're
a
trying
weird
to be
thing.
nice.
Yeah, that's the thing. And that's why I said I'm going to sound like a huge asshole saying this. But I've had that happen so many times where like, I'm like, oh, no, probably not. Are you a big reader? And they're always like, oh, no, I haven't read a book in years. So it's always like, oh, so when you ask like anything I've read, it's like 3 books you were thinking of.
Yeah,
like
why
maybe
don't
I
you
wrote
name
one of those.
the short list of books that you've ever read, and I'll tell you if I wrote any of them.
Yeah,
and also like,
so the difference is anybody that is asked that, and I've told them I'm an author, and they're somebody who's like a voracious reader, they never ask like, oh, anything I've read. It's always people that don't read that much that ask anything I've read.
well, pull your head out of your ass, jerks, and read more books, and then you can ask Tom that question.
No, I've had people that are like insane, like people that read like 200 books a year, and they'll never be. And odds are they might have read one of my books, but I've actually had that happen with people who are voracious readers, and then when I've told them what my book's about, they're like, "Oh, I've read that."
Ah,
Yeah. So look at that.
hey Tom.
Don't ask.
Oh, I've read that. Didn't care for it.
Yeah, that's usually the next like. Yeah, I use it as toilet paper.
I can't remember what happens in books.
Me neither.
Once I read a book, like 3 months later, I can tell you one thing about that book.
Yeah, like I'm always impressed. Like, does this only happen in movies when characters are like quoting lines from books?
I think so.
Or like when somebody quotes a line and then the other person's like, "Oh, of course, Dante's Inferno."
I mean, there are some famous quotes, from
right?
books.
But when it's like not a famous quote,
no, I don't
like,
think that ever happens.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe at like prep schools.
Yeah, we should go to
Oh.
prep school.
Yeah, let's do it.
We should prepare.
All right, see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.